This is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Friday, March 18th. Friday mornings, we travel Michigan with Dave Lorenz of Pure Michigan, who joins us on the other side of our Zoom connection. And it's been 24 months since you taught me how to use Zoom, Dave.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? We're still using this virtual technology, but I'm seeing more and more real meetings happening, real gatherings, and I'm thrilled to see it because I know there are more variants. There will always be variants to any virus. That's just the way it is. And we can wash our hands and we can still get together. I mean, seriously, it's time to get together.
By the way, I'm looking forward to your every 4-year visit to our studio.
Yeah,
it seems like 4 years, and maybe during tulip time, we can do it in person. Be kind of nice to have you in. But I'm, some of my broadcasting colleagues are not, a little iffy about doing the virtual interviews. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm actually just seeing most broadcasters are opening up their studios. And by the way, you might not have heard this, but I am going to be in your studio pretty soon.
Oh,
That almost sounds like, hey, Gary, you're gone.
No, that's okay. No. That's okay. I've been flying solo for 2 months now. So, I could use it.
I'm gonna be in town and we're trying to figure out a time for me to come in and say hi.
Okay, sounds good. Just make sure you come in early because by 3:00 I'm already gone. This week, a new summer campaign has been introduced by Pure Michigan. The Pursue Your Pure. Tell us a little bit about the campaign.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times people have asked me, well, what is Pure Michigan to you? In fact, when we first launched the campaign, we actually did a video series. We went around and talked to celebrities and we talked to people on the street and said, what's Pure Michigan to you? Well, this time we're challenging you to answer that question because my answer back always is, well, what's pure to me is not necessarily what's pure to you, but the truth is we have something for everyone. So we have your version of what Pure Michigan is for you if you just go out there and discover it. So if you're into forested trails, we have that. If you're into freshwater lakes, we have that. If you're into winter, fall, spring, or summer, we have that. And the thing is, we are truly blessed to live in a state where we have such diversity of people and places. And it's time that we get out there again. It's time we start to explore these places and to get to know each other. I will put it in the most dramatic way I can put it. Look what's happening in the Ukraine today. I would argue, and I will argue right now, that much of that is because of a lack of understanding and appreciation of each other's cultures and who each other is in this case. We need to get to know each other. And in traveling, we fully immerse in other people's culture. And we get to understand that we might look different, we might sound different, but in the most essential and important ways, we're all the same. And while we do this, we're having fun. And so it's time we travel. Travel is the greatest peacemaker in the world. And it's also a great reliever. You know that even just planning your trip, that anticipation of booking your trip and going through the planning cycle makes us happier. We can measure that. We have. So it's time that we get back to Pure Michigan. It's time we travel again. And frankly, with all these escalating costs around the country, we're a great deal. We're a great value compared to most places in the country and in the world. You're going to start to see more Michiganders traveling around, and we're going to do our best to encourage people, sure, to go to the Holland area, but not all at one time. We want to spread the traveler out so that we can share our cultures and our experience with others without overwhelming the community as well. So we're trying to get people to go to places that might be a little lesser known. And those really popular places, maybe try going during the weekdays in the summertime, or maybe go in the fall and in the spring and in the winter. So you're going to see a pretty complex set of messaging out there, but we're trying to balance things out while at the same time getting people to travel and with consideration that we still have COVID and always will. So it's a little complicated, but we'll get it done.
Yeah, and part of that messaging is taking over a double-decker bus in Chicago.
That's right. Well, that's the fun thing. We're using a bunch of new media. We're constantly evolving the way we present the brand and the medium that we use. So you bet you're going to hear us on radio and TV, and you'll see us on billboards, and you'll see us on things like Facebook, these digital platforms out there. Even the way we're using digital media is going to be different, I think more impactful. And then we'll be in some of the big cities around our area. We're not running a national campaign. We just kind of can't afford it, but it also doesn't make sense for us this year because I don't think people will be traveling as far as they typically might want to. They're going to stay relatively close to home. So we're lucky. We have 10 million people who live here. We're somewhat self-sustainable if we all stayed here, but we don't. So we need to bring other people in from some of the surrounding states and Ontario. Canada just lifted another one of those restrictions just this week. So you're going to see a lot of Canadians coming back. They love Michigan as we love Ontario. So it's going to be great to see them. And you're going to see people, in pretty big numbers because of pent-up demand and frankly, because they don't necessarily want to stay in Europe right now. So they're going to be coming from Europe, the Germanic-speaking countries in the UK primarily. So I think it's going to be a recovering year, not a full rebound to 19 levels, but you're going to see more travel volume, more travel spending. We're going to get people to come back to work because we're working on those issues as well, trying to encourage our employers, to think about pay, but also to think beyond pay, to think about showing people respect and making sure they understand, the important role they play in that job and all the other things that we're all looking for, because it's not just about pay. So it's a busy time, Gary.
Yeah. And of course, 7 weeks from tomorrow, tulip time starts.
Hey, I can't
7
wait.
weeks from tomorrow.
I'm shining up my wooden shoes.
Dave Lorenz from Pure Michigan, as always, thank you very much for joining us. If all goes well, we'll do this again next week. Thank you, sir.
Sounds good. See you.
Thank you very much, Dave Lorenz on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.